singer Mario didn't become a bigger song. Mario's a good singer though. He was definitely a good singer, bro. I don't know why he didn't proceed. You feel me? Like prosper. Go to the next level. You feel me? Became bigger. You feel me?
Mario Dewar Bennett, or simply Mario, born August 27, 1986. If you were old enough to remember 2002, a few things stick out about that year that were important to hip-hop and R&B. Jay-Z and R. Kelly working on a joint album called Best of Both Worlds. Nelly releasing what would become his second Diamond album, becoming one of only two rappers to ever go Diamond back-to-back, joining Eminem. Ashanti's debut, A-Marie's debut, and the 2002 Mario version of the 1968 classic Freddie Scott, You Got What I Need. Of course, who can forget the 1989 Biz Markie version, Just a Friend, that became a hip-hop classic. Mario was just 15 years old at the time when he burst on the scene, blowing up.
Mario was 15, bro. Son been doing it for mad long. Even when he was mad young, bro. His braids, bro. His face, he was mad young when he started, bro.
Into one of the hottest new artists, with one of the hottest videos on the charts, equipped with a time capsule of headbands, sports jerseys, rockaware, and even braids. It was the drip starter kit at the time as Mario croned and danced his way after the girl of his dreams that didn't see him for more than just a homie that danced and does music. For a small window, Mario had the chance to really lead the charge for young R&B artists off the heels of past 90s greats like Genuine, 112, Usher, Tevin Campbell, Keith Sweat, and more. His cover of Just a Friend stormed up the charts, peaking as the fourth most popular song of the year in the US. Funny, the song was actually given to Mario after Usher let the hit slip through his fingers because of a shelved album he never released. The song turned Mario into a household name and honestly was perfect and better suited for the teen star. His debut album would go gold behind that song and a few others, leading to his sophomore album 2 years later that did even better. Album 2 had his biggest single to date leading it, a song called Let Me Love You. The song was an absolute hit that became #1 across the charts in the US, going platinum and earned Mario a Grammy nomination for Best Male Vocal Performance. It was the 8th most successful single of the decade according to Billboard and made the top 50 of their top 100 singles of their first 50 years. It went on to win tons of awards and stamped Mario as an artist with superstar potential. His first hit song that wasn't a cover, leading the platinum 2004 album Turning Point. That album remains Mario's staple album and peak of his career. He's released 3 more albums.
Son was mad young, bro. I believe he was still in his teenagers when he was doing this, bro. He was dumb young.
Following over the years, but that was the final time he went gold or platinum and hasn't seen that level of success, or some would say anywhere close, ever since. He was supposed to be the next big R&B star, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Florida's finest 05 for this request. It's your boy JC Stunner Growth Music. Let's get it. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Mario is a singer, songwriter, actor, and dancer from Baltimore, Maryland that became popular at 15 years old, like mentioned in 2002. But much before that, he was on track to being a star since 4 years old. It's when his mother saw he not only had singing talent, but craved it and wanted to follow it, and most importantly, he loved to entertain. She bought him a karaoke machine, which he used to practice his performances, and would sing at a local barbershop for anyone willing to stop listen, and maybe leave a small donation. This and talent shows were the weekly routine of young Mario, but one talent show in particular, where he performed a rendition of 112's I'll Make Love to You, caught the eyes of producer Troy Patterson, who began managing him and brought his demo to Clive Davis of J Records, who signed him and placed him in the studio to work on his debut album, set to release within a year. He was 14 years old at the time. Stunt number 1, sat back and watched. Mario's first growth stunt, in my opinion, was the fact he sat back after his sophomore album and first to go platinum and watched as his competition came and stole his lane. You often hear the term golden era when referring to hip-hop and R&B. Well, the early 2000s is one of the eras they refer to. It was a time hip-hop culture was experiencing the fruits of their labor per se, after Bad Boy Records ushered the cleaning up and polishing of hip-hop, making it more marketable from the mid-90s to the beginning of the new millennium. By 2004, hip-hop artists were becoming stars left and right, and hip-hop and R&B music was selling at an all-time high. Mario had a taste of it in 2002, and an even bigger plate in 2004, when he went platinum for the first time and was receiving nominations and awards from everywhere music was critiqued. Maybe that's why after his sophomore album he seemed to relax a bit and wouldn't release a third album for the next 3 years. In a time like that, in a golden era like such, that was a huge mistake. Within that time, R&B artists began to emerge, some huge fans of Mario.
R&B artists became bigger than Mario. You feel me? Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Neo, Usher, all those R&B artists.
Mario, and others even partly responsible for his biggest works, like Chris Brown, Neo, and Trey Songz. Chris Brown later said that Mario was one of his biggest inspirations as a child, and it shows. Go look and listen to his second single, Yo, that sounds like a track Mario would sing, and the video is eerily similar to Mario's Just a Friend. But with Chris, he was much more marketable.
That's Erica Mena, bro. Y'all think that's Erica Mena? She was in that Chris Brown video. She was also in the 50 Cent video. You feel me? She was mad young.
With a look coveted in urban culture at the time, danced better than anyone not named Usher, and still probably him as well, and had superstar personality as R&B's golden boy before beating up A$AP Rocky's baby mom Rihanna. Brown first released in 2005. Also releasing in 2005 was Trey Songz, another R&B star that brought sexy to the game for the females and enjoyed a run himself from 2005 to 2017 with either platinum or gold albums. Then in 2006, R&B artist Neo released his debut album and became one of the biggest R&B artists in the world. Interestingly, he wrote Mario's biggest song ever, Let Me Love You, before penning hit after hit for himself and others throughout the next 2 decades. By the time Mario was ready to release again in 2007, he no longer owned the young R&B star lane, watching as Brown, Neo, and Songz dominated the next decade and more, stealing his style and lane. Stunt number 2, label dropping the ball. Mario's first issue of waiting too long to release and letting other artists eat in his lane may be the result of poor label managing of the R&B star, and even he feels that way when looking back on his career. He says during the process of his third album Go in 2007, he was by then going through so much, from issues with his mother and her drug use, even accused of assaulting her before charges were dropped, to him experiencing mature things he wanted to also write about, but the label wanting to make him into as much as a pop star as possible, to a feud with manager Troy Patterson for what he called an oppressive deal where he made $500,000 from going platinum, while the label made over $20 million. Because the two couldn't find a balance, it led to Mario not being promoted like he should have been, and his resentment for it, leading to the music not being what it once showed the potential to be. There were no chart-topping hit songs on Go, an album he dedicated to his mother, and one released in Africa 2 months before being released in the US.
J Records fought not to release this version because it didn't have the crossover hit they wanted, but for Mario it was personal and something he wanted to give to his fans. He says the disconnect has always been an issue, and this time it killed his career. J Records was shut down and merged to RCA Records, whom too didn't make Mario a featured artist in their plans. Stunt number 3, no more hits. Along with
Mario dealing with artists taking over his lane and becoming worldwide superstars, his label not promoting the music he wanted to make correctly or with enthusiasm, he was also dealing with his mother being on heroin that became public on his 2007 reality show about he and his mother, who eventually overdosed in 2017. In 2009, he
He's trying to worry about his family, bro. About the mom's health and all that shit.
released his final hit song Break Up featuring Gucci Mane that went platinum, but the album failed to meet expectations, not going gold or platinum, and since then Mario has failed to produce more hits that could compete with other new R&B acts or the times R&B began fading altogether. It took almost a decade for an album after his 2009 DNA, his last coming in 2018 without a charting song or much attention at all. All in all, it's sad Mario had to go through all he did personally, when it's clear he just wanted to create music since a young child. He dealt with a lot and still made great songs over the years that were either ill-timed or not promoted like they should have been, and it cost him his potential. He's still a staple of 2000s R&B, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.
Okay, that's the vid. I ain't gonna lie, like the first song I ever heard of Mario was that "Crying Out for Me" song, bro. That was a fire song, bro. Like, wasn't that a hit? You feel me? Wasn't that a hit? Let me know, bro. Like the crying out for me song. That was a fire song, bro. So yeah, bro. Like Mario, like it seemed like he wasn't really worried about his career. Like he was worried about he was more so worried about his mother's like drug problem, like his mother's health. He was about family first. You feel me? So yeah, bro, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. We're just checking out you are.